there, I welcome you to the Power Circuit. It is proudly brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) to give you updates and scorecards in the Nigerian power sector. I am Amara Agugesi and here are the headlines. Power Sector Working Group holds meeting on improvement strategies. TCN builds engineers' capacity on new standards for power transformer maintenance. TCN installs 49 brand new power transformers to enhance power transmission system. West African Power Pool advances towards a competitive regional electricity market. Let's run through the reports. Towards collaborating to improve indices in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, the Power Sector Working Group met to provide strategies for addressing industry issues. The group set up to review issues and activities in the power sector held its quarterly meeting in Abuja. Here is a highlight of the proceeding.
The Permanent Secretary in the Federal Ministry of Power, Alhaji Maman Mahmuda, was hopeful that the working group's efforts would go a long way to create impacts in the power sector.
As we are now, of course, yes, since the last meeting, we are still making progress, but we are not where we want to be in the sector. But then, I thought if we brainstorm and think outside the box, we can be able to deliver electricity to our teeming populations, because that is the essence. If we can't deliver electricity, nobody will see whatever efforts we are making. And that is why all of us are here to look at it, to discuss, to brainstorm, to see what we can be able to do to move Nigeria forward.
Meanwhile, the Managing Director and CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, at the meeting, said between January 2024 and now, 128 transmission towers have been destroyed either by vandals or bandits across the country. Engineer Abdulaziz was represented at the meeting by the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider (TSP) at TCN, Engineer Oluwagbenga Ajiboye.
I see no reason why somebody will just go and bomb a tower and bring it down without stealing anything from it. This is in the northwest. But when you come to the south and southeast, they will gather one night and dismember about 70 towers. Before daybreak, you get there, you don't see anything again. We experienced such in Bayelsa. I visited, we talked to the governor, they were helping us. When we finished reconducting about 17 span of 132 kV, we woke up the following morning and got there. They went to the back and cut 3 span of aluminium conductor and went away with it.
Engineer Abdulaziz further noted the continuous resolve of TCN in improving the Nigerian power transmission system.
We have constraints, as we have said, we will meet the chairman, the NAC, on this due to DISCO non-payments. So we look at so many things. These are what we provide that they can do for us to make it to work, so that all of us can enjoy uninterrupted power supply. This is our aim, this is our projection. We appeal to all the partners to please assist us in achieving it.
The group members discussed the ongoing collaboration of the federal government with the World Bank and the African Development Bank to make electricity available to 50 million Nigerians by the year 2030. The Chief Technical Advisor to the Minister of Power, Mr. Adedayo Oluwaniyi, said the process is being driven through private and public sector participation by providing solar home systems, mini and microgrids, grid extension, and connection to increase access to electricity.
Sustainability is key. I think there is no doubt that if you are going to drive expansion in mini grids, we have to think about them being interconnected. So part of even the discussion with REA in terms of the size and the cap of the mini grid market is moving in that direction, because when you start to have 5 megawatts of potentially a 5 megawatt cap, let's assume that is a cap, You are not just going to consume it in a standalone way. We have to be interconnected. An interconnected mini grid is the best way to actually those mini grids being sustainable long term.
A representative of the World Bank reassured the working group of the bank's commitment to key power projects being delivered in the Nigerian electricity supply industry.
Taking action is key, but taking proactive action is the masterstroke of those who are committed to succeed. This is why the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) is pushing the capacity strengthening of its staff members to a higher level. The Power Circuit brings to you a report of the training held for engineers on the new standards for the maintenance of power transformers across power transmission substations.
Declaring the training open, the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider at TCN, Engineer Oluwagbemga Ajiboye, who represented the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, noted the importance of the training session, which presents the trainees with the opportunity to familiarize themselves with the new manual for transformer maintenance.
You are all welcome to this training workshop. Well, I can see that you are not stressed. Even from your journey, you are looking fresh. We thank God for that. Yeah, I just have few words on what we are doing. You might have been hearing, I believe this is the fourth of the training we are doing this year. We don't just gather you to come and eat lunch. No. We gather all of us to be able to understand what is happening. We want to use all opportunity we have at our venue with you to cut down on the downtime in TCN, equipment downtime. Because we are in another era in electricity market. It is not like it used to be. Things has changed.
He tasked the participants on imbibing the knowledge from the training to improve their performance.
Anywhere you send you to go and learn something, at the end of it, you must be tested and know that you have learned something. So you are just starting today. That's what I'm telling you. Don't think you just go listen. Either you care or you don't care. Because by the end, I need results of your performance. And we will use it for whatever we do in future. I've been addressing so many groups, at least 3 groups, and be telling them the breakdown of why we keep on arranging all these programs so that we can be abreast with the new development.
There were various sessions with facilitators delivering lectures on power protection systems and power transformer maintenance. Engineer Adamu Umar, a retired Assistant General Manager, Transformer and Reactor at TCN, who was one of the training facilitators, urged the participants to pay keen attention so that when they are trained, they can retrain other members of staff of TCN in the field.
I want to use this opportunity to please advise every one of us that comes here, please deliver the same information you got here to your colleagues, please. Power transformer is the most single important item in a substation. Without it, you cannot run the station. And one power transformer, you would buy nearly every equipment in the substation. With one power transformer, 60 MVA costs more than 1 billion naira. So all the protection equipment in the station will hardly be 1 billion naira. So you can imagine. So a loss of power transformer is very enormous.
During the interactive session, the trainees got the opportunity to make inquiries and share ideas with superior officers on how to cut down time across power transmission substations. The power circuit crew caught up with some management officials as well as some trainees on the sideline as they provided further insights into the training and its expected impacts.
The purpose of the training is to keep our staff abreast with the new development in maintenance of transformer and electrical equipment. We are training our staff to reduce downtime on equipment, which will in addition earn more revenue for TCN as a body. Everybody can gain from training in as much as you contribute to the development of the company.
We are gathered there so that we can have a unified maintenance to reduce downtime of equipment and to ensure that our equipment are working at the optimal level. Also to understand the electricity at 2023, how it affects Transmission Company of Nigeria, and for us to be able to give more productive output to our customers.
So my take home on this training would be knowing the right methods on how to maintain our equipment so that we would have our equipment staying for a very long time and reducing downtime, and also learn about the new Electricity Act that has been enacted last year so that we would definitely give our best as maintenance staff in our region to make the most of all that we have learned in this.
The Power Circuit continues after this break.
Did you know that our high-tension transmission cables are built to withstand high temperatures, except artificially induced ones such as fire? Did you know that burning bush or refuse dumped by TCN's transmission tower base or along the transmission line's right-of-way is an offence? Did you know that the fire can cause high-tension transmission lines to snap and fall to the ground, electrocuting living things within the line radius? Did you know that extreme fire can cause the legs of transmission towers to buckle, and that buckling of the main frame of a tower will lead to its collapse and may even pull down other towers along that transmission line's route, causing untold damage to the line? Now that you know, TCN is calling all citizens of Nigeria to please desist from destroying our collective national investment. Be careful. Do not set fire on trash or burn bush beside transmission towers or under electricity lines nationwide. Help us preserve the transmission grid and save the nation from blackout.
TCN, transmitting bulk electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
In staying true to its commitment of expanding and rehabilitating the transmission system, the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) has installed 49 power transformers so far this year. This milestone achievement was revealed by the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, at an annual workshop of the Power Correspondents Association of Nigeria (PCAN) in Abuja.
While delivering a paper at the Power Correspondents Association of Nigeria workshop, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, who was represented by the General Manager, Material Control and Stores, Engineer Abdul Kadir Gwaram Adamu, noted the significant scorecards attained for power transmission scorecards so far.
From January 13th to November 9th, 2024, we have installed 41 power transformers. Out of these 49 power transformers, go to the graph. Just move. Yes, these are the dates and the locations of all these power transformers. Out of them, 17 are 60 MVA power transformers, 16 are 100 MVA, And we have 5 number 150 MVA 330 kV power transformer. We have 1 number 187 MVA and 1 number 300 MVA.
He further gave a breakdown of the locations of the installed power transformers across various regions of TCN.
You can see this is the installed capacity per each region. Each region now you can see that this is what we have added this year from January to November 9th. We have added this capacity to the grid. So what are the implications of adding transformer capacities? These are few. Among them, it enhances reliability. It brings about economic growth. It also improves or increases rural electrification and for future planning.
The TCN helmsman gave an overview of the Nigerian power transmission system towards deepening the understanding of the power reporters.
We all know the transmission company of Nigeria is the nucleus of the power electricity industry, and it provides the infrastructure, it maintains, control, monitor and coordinates the wheeling of power from the generation stations to the distribution companies. You can see that we have, as of now, almost 9,100 kilometers of 330 kV line and 8,557 kilometers of 132 kV line. And we have 91 power transformers, and we keep on adding, as you will see as we go through the presentation. And we have 392 132 kV 33 power transformers, and we have 57 330 kV transmission substations and 186 132 kV transmission substations.
While the company has recorded quite significant steps in transmission system expansion and rehabilitation, TCN is further accelerating more projects to increase power transmission capacity.
Also this year we have, awarded this contract for reconductoring. We are now changing from the normal all aluminium or all copper steel reinforced conductors to high temperature, low loss conductors that will double, sometimes triple the ampacity and the current carrying capacity of the conductors.
Other officials delivered papers during the technical session of the Power Reporters Workshop. There was also a panel session where the participants made remarks on key issues around developing the Nigerian power sector.
Today, from ECN to NEPA to PHCN to the privatization program, and here we are today.
The TCN official spoke about upholding standards in the execution of power projects.
Definitely there is no way you will now say, for example, TCN or my brother in AEDC or NPG will now go for inferior materials, because you know what it will cost you. Because the cost of replacement, you know the hardship you go to procure these things, if you know it is enormous. So the best thing, all of us will prefer to buy good standard materials that if we put them, we have forgotten from that side, then we now face another challenge.
The West African Power Pool WAP is significantly advancing towards a competitive regional electricity market as it overcomes barriers in power transmission and regional grid expansion. This was the position of the pool at the 19th session of its General Assembly, presided over by Mamadou Coulibaly, Minister of Mines, Petroleum and Energy, Côte d'Ivoire, in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire.
The minister, who highlighted the scale of resources required to meet the growing regional electricity demands, called for collaborative efforts and pooling of financial as well as natural resources across ECOWAS member states to achieve the goal. The ECOWAS Commissioner for Infrastructure, Energy and Digitization, Mr. Sediko Duka, commended the progress made through the ECOWAS Master Plan for Electricity Generation and Transmission, with interconnection of 14 out of 15 ECOWAS countries, and efforts to complete the network synchronization towards establishing a reliable and cost-effective supply. Chairman of the Executive Board of WAP, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdelaziz, announced the appointment of Mr. Abdoulaye Dia from Senegal as the new Secretary General and also welcomed 8 new power utility members to the General Assembly. Engineer Abdelaziz, who is the MD CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, assured on ongoing projects such as the development of additional cross-border transmission lines and initiatives aimed at enhancing the resilience of the electricity grid. At a session of the Joint Committee's meeting held before the General Assembly, Engineer Kabiru Adamu, who chairs the WAP Strategic Planning and Environmental Committee and is also the General Manager, System Planning and Development at TCN, was confident that the resolutions and recommendations from the meeting will contribute to the realization of an integrated, reliable, and sustainable regional electricity grid. Also, before the WAP General Assembly was the 63rd WAP Executive Board meeting focusing on promoting the regional electricity market. Chairman of the WAP Executive Board, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdelaziz, said with collaborations, several priority projects identified earlier in the year have been concluded while others are progressing. Presenting the 2024 activity report, the Acting Secretary General, Engineer Abdul Nazif, noted key initiatives that have been implemented. He noted that the 225 kV Guinea to Mali line is progressing, while the 330 kV North Core project from Nigeria to link the Benin Republic and other countries is ongoing despite the delay.
As we close, here are the headlines again. Power Sector Working Group holds meeting on improvement strategies. TCN builds engineers' capacity on new standards for power transformer maintenance. TCN installs 49 brand new power transformers to enhance power transmission system. West African Power Pool advances towards a competitive regional electricity market. You can always get more from the power circuits as TCN has made all editions available on the TCN YouTube channel. Keep track of the company as you connect with TCN on all its social media platforms by liking the TCN page on Facebook via Transmission Company of Nigeria. You can also follow TCN on X, formerly Twitter, by searching for @TCN_Nigeria. Experience TCN and its activities on Instagram as you click TCN_Nigeria. TCN officials are always there to receive your observations and comments by email to affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. For more information about the company's activities, go to the interactive website www.tcn.org.ng. There is also an information site www.tcnnews.ng where TCN keeps you updated about power sector activities. Please remember that we must safeguard public assets, including power infrastructure, against vandalism and sabotage in our locality. I am Amara Agugesi. Thanks for sticking through with this edition.